You're on the road beyond. Welcome. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we are coming to you from the Houston City College television studios, deep in the belly of downtown Houston today.
We're always in the basement. I'm Doug O'Brien from Houston's Eagle, and an interesting show today, at least from my side.
So, for those of you new to the show, Doug and I, we used to, for the last year, we were going back and forth with scripts and getting all our elements together, and we said, oh, the heck with it. So now, the stories I come up with, Doug has not even seen or heard. He has no idea what I'm going to talk about today, nor do I have any idea what he's going to talk about. Is it a good way to do the show? Probably not, but we're going to give it a go anyway. So welcome to the show.
So what have you got to start out to wow me?
You know this, we've been talking about disclosure for months.
Yes, yes.
Rumors that Trump is going
July
to
8th.
make July 8th, which coincides with
the alien Roswell.
The alien Roswell.
I wasn't ready for the test.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is kind of along the same lines, but this is about not just disclosure, but the fact that Congress is going, why the heck is nobody showing us the alien bodies?
Okay.
Okay. For decades, UFOs were always a punchline. Now they're kind of mainstream. They're hip. They're cool.
Right.
The thing of the day. We've had congressional hearings on it. Well, now online accounts like our good friends over at UAP Watchers on X, who you should give a follow if you get a chance, they've been making a claim that there is a massive UFO so big it cannot be moved. And this kind of goes back to our Greenland thing. Remember we discussed
it was supposed to be under the ice. It crashed.
Yeah. Okay. So they don't give a location. Well, they don't give a location, dude.
Right. Okay. All right. Of course not.
It's so large that instead of relocating it, authorities supposedly are building around it, kind of like you see in a lot of movies. They do stuff like that.
What is this, Disneyland for aliens?
Well, there's no photos, no confirmed location, just fragments and a lot of silence. Despite the headlines, though, lawmakers are coming forward and they're saying, look, this is, we are, these committees, like these oversight committees on security, intelligence, they're saying, we're not seeing the intelligence. These barriers need to move. We don't want PowerPoints. We don't want you guys coming in here and telling us things they heard from somebody else. We want to see where this stuff is. And if it's classified, who better than these congressmen, and in many cases congresswomen, to go see it. Congressman Tim Burchett has made, he's been relentless with this. He's saying that he and others say files, reference materials, locations, and programs tied to UAPs, but their access is blocked.
Who's blocking it?
That's where they want to know. Why can't we go? Trump's asking for answers. And the thing is, you can't get Congress to agree on much of anything these days. But this is an issue that goes across the aisle. We have people on both sides who are teaming up together, wanting to know where are the we know there's UFOs. We know there are UAPs.
Right.
Show us the technology. Show us the downed aircrafts. We're tired of hearing about this. Show it to us. And they haven't had much luck in it. Now, there's also, well, I hate to say this. You're going to hit me, so just go ahead and do it. Now, they could play the Trump card in both ways, all right? Because Trump is out there saying, throwing out breadcrumbs, saying that he's going to do disclosure.
Right.
Well, his daughter-in-law now has a TV show. She was taking viewer questions, and somebody texted in, what's going on with disclosure? When can we get it? Laura Trump then responded, well, from what I understand, President Trump has something lined up about that. This just keeps coming back to our conversation we've had about the disclosure that could be happening. Could we be closer to this, the closest we've ever been?
Well, we talked about, this was a few weeks ago, about breadcrumbs. That way we are prepared. We're not completely shocked. You just can't one day go, oh, here's an alien, right? You have to give it little pieces so that way when it does happen, we're not just completely baffled and awestruck.
Well, I think maybe we're being conditioned here. This is a big
That's what I mean, yes.
And then there's the new Steven Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
Whoa, boy, if you thought Close Encounters was one thing, wait till you see this one. Disclosure Day apparently is going to be opening on June 12th.
Okay.
So needless to say, we've got a big summer ahead of us. We've got a huge celebration for the 250th anniversary of this country. Supposedly, they're going to have professional fights at the White House.
Yeah, the UFC on the front lawn. Yes.
I heard they're going to have like some Monte Carlo style race, Indy cars now in Washington, D.C.
Apparently, I heard over
Yeah.
the weekend from my girlfriend that this is not the first time that there will be fighting on the lawn of the White House.
Yeah, there
so
was.
apparently, I don't remember.
Well, that
what,
happened, I think, 1812.
Yeah, they had like
1814,
when they boxed like this.
No, they were
back-
fighting with the English back then. You know, the red.
No,
coats
they
were back
actually
here.
had bare
you're
knuckle
talking about
boxing.
bare knuckle.
Yes, on the lawn of the White House
That's
back in the
pretty
day.
nasty stuff.
Yeah, like late 1700s, early 1800s.
Because gosh, no, we don't get that violent anymore.
Give
Give me a good fight there, you.
I just love the style. Come on.
Yeah.
Put them on.
Put 'em-
Yeah. So let me just ask you real
So,
quick.
yeah.
Do you think we have bodies somewhere?
Oh, I'm absolutely positive. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, everything, what I've read if you go down those rabbit holes, we've got them. Now, I don't know what condition they're in right now,
Yeah.
but no, I'm not going to say that this time around.
Do you think they're walking among us?
That's where I was going to go.
Hybrids?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where
yeah,
I was going to go.
That's what I thought.
That they're already interacting with us. So how much will we get on July the 8th? I don't know. We may just get like, yeah, there are other beings. We're in contact with them. I don't think we're going to get much more than that.
Well, I have a story that brings us closer to our immediate future.
Yeah.
What would you say if I told you that China has a train that travels in a tube that can go 1,000 kilometers per hour?
Yeah, but where are they going to build this?
Well, they already have one
Oh,
in
they already have
Shanghai.
it. Okay.
Yeah, they're way ahead of us.
Way ahead of us.
So here's the deal. The question is, does China really have a train flying through a tube at 1,000 kilometers per hour? It's a magnetic bullet in a vacuum tunnel, basically.
Aren't there some laws of gravity and G-force that are really going to knock you?
Well, here's
Yeah,
the story.
okay.
Online, it goes like this. China has built a train in a sealed tube. You see it right there.
Yeah.
Uses magnets instead of wheels, traveling at 1,000 kilometers or more. That's the story.
Now, that's not new technology. You've
No,
heard about this,
maglev,
right? Yeah,
it's called
yeah.
magnetic levitation technology. They do currently have a train that essentially floats, as you see right there,
Yeah.
above the track.
And it's suspended by magnets.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
right now it can get about 431 kilometers per hour, which is roughly 268 miles per hour.
Now,
But
when is Temu going to have this available to buy? on
that's a
their
different
website?
train
Okay,
altogether.
all right.
Yeah, that comes, it's a little tiny one.
Yeah, I was wondering when.
But
But it
a-
looks like it could be the same one. from
A
Temu.
true passenger train at 1,000 kilometers per hour does not exist yet, but
Yeah.
they are working on it. So picture a sealed tunnel, maglev technology. It could reach 600 to 1,000 kilometers per hour. Think about it. That is basically traveling from Houston to Dallas in 20 minutes on a maglev
What could possibly
train.
go wrong?
Nothing could go wrong.
What could go wrong? What
Here's
could possibly
the
go
biggest
right?
problem, though.
Yeah.
The U.S., we don't have anything like that. We are so far
We can't
behind.
even get a train. Well, they've been trying to build one in California
I know.
now for years, spent billions on it. They got nothing.
So the
Look what they're
rumor,
doing in China.
it's not true,
Yeah.
but it is coming. So
Well, you know,
get prepared.
Well, it would be good to get it between here and Dallas. Just think you could be in Dallas. You could work in Dallas daily
Yes,
and
absolutely.
get there within a few minutes.
Well, even traveling from Houston to New York City,
Yeah.
you'd be there in a matter of less time than it takes you to fly.
what happened
you know?
to the train we were going to build to Dallas? What
That
happened to
thing fell through. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
what-
we
from
heard
what I
so many
understand,
stories.
They
And
were going to take a mall. The Northwest Mall was
Yep.
going to turn into, it was going to be the transit center.
Yeah.
You know, they were buying up land from people. And
Look, I barely got to
know.
work today because they're working on the roads for World Cup. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, let's fix the roads, then let's work on magnetic
that's another
levitation,
thing.
maybe.
Yeah, don't let us get started.
So we're
in,
not even close
yeah,
to that.
in
But don't be surprised if in the next 20 to 25 years, you start hearing about a train that can go 1,000 kilometers per hour. It's on the way.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah, because nothing can go wrong there. Let's see. Next up, underground UFO bases. And what do you got?
Would you believe it if I told you there's a digital twin of Earth?
All that and more on the Road Beyond podcast. He'll be back. He's Doug O'Brien. I'm not. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
What would you give for a child you loved? To make their wish come true? To help them fight a critical illness? Just imagine what you'd do. Every single one of us can make the stars align, because when we come together, hope and joy will shine.
Cause in the sky, nothing Why is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick, below the surface. Our reason why is united, undivided, seeking understanding. My why is diversity and unity, a safe space in my community. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why for a better us.
Welcome back to the Road Beyond podcast. I'm Doug O'Brien from Houston's Eagle.
I'm not Doug O'Brien
You're Todd
from
Duplantis.
Houston City College.
Don't forget to like, follow, and share. You can find us on all the social media sites, and you can find Todd at Todd Duplantis65 on X.
Yep.
You can always find us at the Road Beyond podcast.
Yeah.
So I teased it with there is a possibility of a digital twin of Earth.
And how does that even happen?
Well, let me explain.
Okay,
I'm
all
so
right,
glad
all
you
right.
asked.
Yeah, please do.
Imagine a second Earth, not in
Yeah.
space, not in another dimension, but simply in a computer. And this is real. This
we
is not
had this.
fake.
There was a game called Sims. Remember
Yes.
that? Yeah.
Well, this is much worse than that.
Yeah.
So it's a living simulation of the real world. It's called a digital twin of
Yeah.
Earth. And the idea is that they can use this to forecast the future, like with
right,
weather
right.
or
Yeah.
as cities build, as we're experiencing construction everywhere. So that's the idea behind it. Engineers already use twins for jet engines,
Mm-hmm.
for human organs, so just scale it up to the size of Earth. Right now, this is actually happening. You can run tomorrow forward like a movie to see, so if a storm is approaching,
Yeah.
if it hits 30 minutes earlier, what would happen? If there's flooding, what kind of devastation would there be? So
and they're
it's-
actually using this.
they're
right now.
actually using
Yeah.
this. Now, right now, there is not a complete digital twin of Earth, but some cities do have it. Orlando, Florida, the biggest regional digital twin for growth, infrastructure, emergency planning. Boston has it for zoning and development. New York City for traffic forecasting and safety modeling. And Las Vegas has a twin for a lot of their city planning.
Right.
So this is a real thing. So what's the big deal, right?
Well, I mean, because nature, if you're trying to look at natural events, one thing you learn about nature is it doesn't repeat itself a lot
That
of
is
time.
true.
You have, I mean, think of Hurricane Harvey that we had.
Yes,
Here. What if
yes.
you ran that through the digital twin? They would have said you're crazy.
Well, here's
You know?
the really dark side,
Yeah.
and it's not even about weather. It's think of the most nefarious people you can think of.
Yeah, getting
Worst
over this. What
case,
could go wrong?
it predicts people.
Yeah.
So it could be used to model protests, simulate unrest, identify risk zones, or expand surveillance. So bad intentions and how it would affect our lives. So they can actually look at it, and let's say somebody wants to throw out a rumor
Right.
about aliens, for
Right.
example. How would we respond? And so they take all the data that we have and we know from all the
And just see
surveillance
where all hell
cameras.
breaks loose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where are your hot spots? How will people respond? So people could use this in a very, very negative way.
Yeah.
And that's the very scary part. But we are on the way to having a complete digital twin of Earth as a whole.
This reminds me of the story that I did a couple of weeks ago where we were talking about AI predicting the future
Yes.
in 2055.
Yep.
Because it talks about things that could be predicted with this digital twin.
Yeah, this is just
So this is already going on in AI.
Yeah, it's already going on with AI. It's happening with cities. It just, if you think global, and what worries me and concerns me so much is for people who want to do bad things. If we deploy whatever bad actors in certain areas, what might happen? And they can play it out and find out in the digital world before doing it in real life.
Aren't there thought think tanks and groups in higher ups who are doing this already and have been doing it for years?
Yes.
Think about that. I
Yeah,
mean, everybody's
absolutely.
When you're having to sit down, especially if you're in the military or if you're running a government,
Yes.
you're going to have situation rooms where you're going through these scenarios.
Yep.
You're just not using a digital twin.
That's
you're
it.
using your human brain
Right.
as opposed to a digital twin.
That's the difference. Now you can take it from just a discussion
Yeah.
to literally seeing. take the pandemic we all went through.
Oh, yeah.
You would be able to put that into this model and see how would this spread? How could it be prevented? But also, if somebody wanted to use it to release a biological agent, who would it affect the most? What kind of problems would it cause?
Or use it to make a bunch of money through the stock market.
That as well. Yeah. So expect a digital twin of Earth.
I wonder if the digital twin can help you with predicting crypto.
They can work on what things would affect crypto.
Yeah.
Like it won't tell you, it's not a forecaster as in you can make money.
That's what we really need here.
But think about it. All the stock market and all of crypto is all about how we're feeling. How does the stock market feel? How do investors feel?
Based on,
so what can they do to boost the investments or what might harm the investments? So yeah, it can be and will be.
I would like to see this digital twin expanded to where we can actually not just look at, say, geopolitical events or disasters, but you can go back and look at specific people like yourself and predict.
Well, I was saying I wouldn't mind.
That'd be the next step for it.
I wouldn't mind having a digital twin to do all the jobs I don't want to do.
Exactly.
You know, that would be very nice.
That we're getting there as well. What do you say we go out to Sedona, Arizona? You ever been there?
I have not, but I've heard it's lovely for the desert scene and gorgeous.
It is beautiful there. It's known for red rocks, vortexes, and spiritualism tourists. Well, online UFO and contact communities are saying there's more in Sedona than meets the eye, specifically things that could be underground. Australian investigative journalist, we've had this guy, not on the show, but clips of him, Russ Colthart.
Yes.
He's been in a couple of posts, amplified by an ex-poster named Kabamar. They apparently are saying Sedona allegedly sits on a hidden installation tied to the, ready? Galactic Federation. Thank you very much.
Well, you were just on an alien kick today.
What are you going to do with
So
these
what
stories?
is underground? Explain this to me like I'm a 4-year-old. What is underground in Sedona?
Well, there is a base they're calling Bask, B-A-S-K, kids. That's how you spell Bask.
Okay.
Described as a non-physical or higher density site where Earth native souls passed after death.
Okay.
A kind of a haven of light, if you had. It's roughly 10 miles from Bass. The story introduces a human-accessible military base, here we go, allegedly built with permission from non-human entities. You always must ask the permission of non-human entities. The base is described as deep underground, accessible by, look at that, by massive tunnels carved into large red rock, and large enough for motherships to enter directly. Descriptions include light-encoded doorways that only open to approved beings, vast steel-reinforced chamber
you have to
lined
be
with
approved.
Corinthian leather,
Right.
screens that rise from the floor, we already have that at many houses, displaying real-time images of Earth via telepathy.
So at what point do you take the peyote to reach this level? I'm just curious.
Well, the stories describe a mix of no peyote, but human white hat military personnel, Palladians, you remember those folks?
Of course.
We found them here on Earth, and non-other human races, and of course the Galactic Federation, who's in there all the time. They kind of run the joint.
Do we know how it works? Like, how can you enter?
Yeah. Well,
so
you got to go
just
through a
saying
mountain.
it's there.
Have you seen? I'm trying to think. The Batman, the old Batman.
Yeah, of course.
The Bat Cave.
Yep.
Think of that technology, but with UFOs in a much larger.
So you have to connect with the alien telepathically, and they will allow you to ascend into the deeper bowels of Sedona.
I don't think they call it bowels.
Okay, well,
but they'll go with that.
I'm just trying to understand this.
Yeah. So once you're there, I think you just call them up. Yo, I'm here. Can you come open the door for me?
Right.
They let you in. You go underground. There is restricted airspace over it. So you can't just be flying over it. You've got to be. And they say you're allowed by you've got a group, the Galactic Federation. They run the joint, remember?
Yeah.
And then you also get the Palladians somehow involved, and I'm pretty sure Darth Vader's in there as well.
Okay. So I sent you a video a while back with a lady who claims to communicate with the Galactic Federation. So I may break that out next week because
that was just weird.
It's crazy.
If
but
you thought
is
this
that
story was weird.
Is that how they communicate like that? I mean, I'm very curious, and yet it's
the
crazy.
only Palladians I've met are the ones that we've shown videos of on this show.
All right.
They weren't that impressive to me.
Ben, I'm guessing no one has pictures of any of this, correct?
I had some pictures I showed.
No, you had drawings.
Well,
you
they
had
were-
artist concepts.
I don't think the Palladians really are big on pictures.
Well, maybe on what is it? July. That's it. July 8th. Maybe we'll get the
Disclosure Day.
passcode, right?
Keep up with the routine.
I can't.
Yeah.
There's too much
July
going on.
8th is disclosure date.
Right.
Allegedly, Trump is going to talk about we're not alone.
Okay.
June 12th, the movie disclosure date. No
Right.
relation to the Trump situation.
Right.
Spielberg's new movie is opening.
Okay. I'm
right.
going to have my digital twin keep
Yeah,
up with
keep
all
up
of
with
this
all
because
that, yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
That is just weird. Where did you find that one?
What, it's news. It was on.
Oh,
X.
it's in the regular
it was
news?
in the regular news.
Silly
yeah.
me, I
Well,
must
when Russ Colhart comes forward
Oh,
with
okay.
information,
Oh, true.
you lend it a little bit of correct.
I must have been watching
credibility.
the Olympics. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch any. I heard one of them broke there. Lindsey.
Oh
Vaughn.
my God, Lindsey Vaughn.
Yeah, her
that
broke-
was
that's a terrible situation.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like I even in my living room, I watched it and
Yeah.
I was like, I gasped.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, like it was. Yeah, that was terrible. But that's it for another show.
We'll catch up with that later. Okay, hey, we're going to take you out to Wisconsin when we return, and you're going to be reading the story.
Oh, great. Well, I've got an invisible city for you.
Oh, great. Stick around. The Road Beyond continues after this.
Hi, I'm Bob Euchre. I was 5 years old when Lou Gehrig gave his famous Luckiest Man speech. Lou retired from baseball that day because of the devastating disease known as ALS. Back then, I never imagined I would one day grow up to be a Major League Baseball player or spend my life in baseball. And I certainly didn't imagine that ALS would take my daughter Leanne's life and another close friend. ALS robs a person of their ability to walk, talk, eat, and breathe. It's been 8 decades since Lou's speech, and we still don't have a cure. But we are making progress turning ALS from a fatal disease into a livable one, and we need your help to finally strike out ALS. Please join us in the fight by visiting als.org. Thank you.
I'm Garth Brooks.
And I'm Trisha Yearwood.
A safe, decent, affordable place to call home is a canvas full of
hope and joy, opportunity.
Visit Habitat.org to help more families make masterpieces of their very own.
Poison Help is a free 24/7 hotline that answers all of your poison questions in over 100 languages.
Hello, Poison Help?
Hello? When poison happens, we're here for you. Just call Poison Help, 1-800-222-1222.
Why is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick, below the surface. Our reason why is united, undivided, seeking understanding. My why is diversity and unity, a safe space in my community. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why for a better us.
Welcome back to the Road Beyond podcast. Todd Duplantis here with you, along with
Doug O'Brien from Houston's Eagle.
We've got a story for Doug to read. He has not seen this yet.
What
Have
is-
at it.
The
Story
last one
number
involved
3.
a naked man breaking
You're
into
gonna
a
like
house
this one,
and
yeah.
kids.
You're going to like this one.
All right,
better.
am I starting here?
Yeah.
Okay. So residents of a quiet town in southern Wisconsin are under siege, I tell you, not by crime nor by weather, but by a gang of aggressive wild turkeys. I actually saw this story in when
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I show prep. Yeah.
They're all over the place.
In
yeah.
Janesville, and believe me, if you have never been chased by a turkey, you're missing
It's
something.
terrifying.
In Janesville, neighbors say the birds have gone from cute wildlife to full-on neighborhood bullies. One local, Lawrence Meyer, even caught video of turkeys chasing a mailman down the street.
We have a picture. It was actually seen.
It used to
Yeah.
be dogs that you had to be afraid of
Now
as a
it's
mailman.
turkeys, yeah.
Apparently,
There you go.
neither rain, snow, nor turkeys will stop the mail. Meyer says his 8-year-old son also had a close encounter while crossing the street. The turkeys allegedly locked eyes, fluffed up their feathers, and chaos ensued. Quote, "They're as tall as my son." Well, your son's a pipsqueak. Which is terrifying because turkeys look harmless until they stand up straight and realize they're built like linebackers. Meyer says it didn't start this way. At first, the turkeys were fun. They added life to the neighborhood. Then development happened and the turkeys took it personally. Now they block traffic, cause accidents, chase children, and apparently have beef with the Postal Service. A wildlife biologist with the Wisconsin's DNR says turkeys do flock together in winter, but this level of aggression, rare. Translation, these aren't normal turkeys, these are tough guy turkeys.
We were able to get a picture of the tough guy turkeys. Yeah, actually, somebody snapped a picture.
Turkeys really are crazy. And did you know there was talk of it being our national bird back in the day?
Where did that go? Yeah.
That went nowhere because turkeys aren't really majestic looking. All right, fact or fiction?
Yeah.
There's a strange theory floating around this year. It says a small U.S. town, often placed somewhere in Nebraska, was secretly wiped out by the military. Fact or fiction?
I'm going to go with fact on that one.
You would be wrong.
No. Wow.
The rumor is that the government supposedly covered this up, erased it from maps, and now the towns exist as a radioactive ghost zone hidden in plain sight. So conspiracy posts claim that radiation spikes, missing census data, and locals who aren't allowed to talk about it. So you can see some of the town there in Nebraska. What's actually happening is the towns named in these theories are very real, fully populated and open for business. So the real question is, where did this come from? Well, a mashup of Cold War nuclear anxiety, misunderstood military testing sites, and internet's favorite fuel, vague satellite images, and someone I know said.
Yeah,
right?
Trust me, bro.
So no hidden blasts, no radioactive anything. It's just people with too much time on their hands on the internet.
Wow.
But it is a real rumor. Yeah. It's a real rumor. People think the government is up to nefarious things, and I just don't get it.
I don't know why. Why could we think that? What could possibly be the problem here?
Oh.
Well, if there is disclosure by next week, we'll break in live with that. I'll tell you that.
It's crazy. If you've ever lived in small towns or driven through small towns, you see these abandoned little cities. Ever since they developed the Eisenhower interstate highway system, which, by the way, is a grid for the military. Look it up. A lot of small towns have gone by the wayside because of that. So people just naturally sit at home and drink moonshine and just think the government's up to something.
The web.
Yes.
And watch this show.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. Well, that wraps up another week of, which camera am I looking at? Yeah, the Road Beyond podcast. And next week, we'll be back with more of the best information you're going to find packed in half an hour.
I'm going to see if I can find the galactic, what is it, overlord?
The Galactic Federation.
The lady who interprets it. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Yeah, the Palladians.
Find it for next week.
Will join us next week. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
See you.
We'll be right back.